The old world of Europe and Asia is known in equal parts for its fairy tale creatures prowling the woods, little scamps trading wishes for food, and its deadly monsters who want nothing more than to take your children to be used for their bratwurst. However, the new world of the Americas, in particular the United States, finds itself with a peculiar division for its creatures of bedtime legend. You will rarely find stories of helpful gnomes offering refuge from the storm, or fairies gifting children with wild delights, but claws scraping against your door, abnormal growls echoing down your chimney, and shadowy figures standing at the foot of your bed. The best advice any advanced traveler of the US will tell you is this: stay out of the woods. The national parks, while famed for their safe, well-protected, and well-advised landscapes of rolling hills, are still considered epicenters for the abnormalities we at the Black Index tend to study. Protecting your family from vile creatures is not our job. Why do you think the National Park Service was created in the first place? The woods are welcoming for a reason. Today we wanted to talk to you about one of the less protected areas of America's woods of Pennsylvania, the presumed 7 gates to hell. I'm certain we've all found an abandoned building or whispering wood we couldn't help but explore, never mind the warning signs or chains blocking the way. Or maybe that's just me. A secret world lies within the shadowy recesses of those trees, stretching deep past the broken windows and into the basements once belonging to a family that no longer has any connection with the land. But what about paths? Paths are welcoming, guiding you towards something clearly marked. Maybe it's for you, maybe not, but nonetheless, that marked path will bring you somewhere new, and this time, you hear something. Imagine a voice, thin and frail, ready to break if the speaker were to only speak a little louder. Despite your distance from the voice, you always hear it clear, as if they were in your ear. They stand in front of an iron gate, still as a rod embedded in stone. You can barely make out the face, but it looks familiar, like a lost family member or friend you haven't seen since you were a child. They tell you to walk on. 7 gates you must pass, if hell is what you dream to grasp. Who would ever want to see hell? For the townsfolk of York County, Pennsylvania, this is a staple legend. Assuming you've been following along with us, your Black Index should have turned to page 985. Yes, this is a missed opportunity for a page number if you consider worldly legend, but I assure you, searching amongst lesser histories will point you towards 985 as a reference to damnation, just as much as 666. But I digress. The legend of the 7 gates in New York County, PA pertains to the township of Hellium. There are 2 tales spun for these magical gates. Stories tend to be like that, evolving, changing like you or to fit the environment. Depending on the mood, the moon, the swing of stars, you may find out that 2 things can be true. But we'll let you figure out for yourself what's the truest of true. Is seeing believing, listener? The first story deals with an asylum built in an isolated location on either Toad Road or Trout Run Road sometime in the early 1900s. Those that weren't neurotypical were not of high priority in those days, so you can only imagine why they decided to erect the building away from civilization. If only those trees could speak, what echoes of past lives they would repeat to us. Would they be screams or muffled cries? Those questions will never be answered since the fire broke out, leading to the mass death of the incarcerated. The story does say that some were able to escape the flames, but they were beaten to death by guards before they could get far. The role of the 7 gates for this story is disputed in different iterations, but one such version says the gates were erected to hold back the remaining inmates. Somewhere along the timeline, details were lost, but rest assured, field researchers are still looking for answers, so keep a lookout in your Black Index as more information is recovered. The second story leans into the pulpy side of the legend, with an eccentric physician erecting the gates on the property. Details change once every while with this one, but it's speculated that the physician was obsessed with the occult, trying his hand at creating a link between our world and hell. Both these stories can vary depending on who is speaking, but each holds their own truth that can be found in redacted documents within the Hellium Library. But the biggest link between the 2 stories is this: there has been no recorded person having made it past the 5th gate. They either come screaming back to the starting gate, or are found on the cold earth as a shriveled body as if they had surpassed their age by decades. Such phenomenon is being studied by field researchers. Most knowledge recovered is only in the form of tapes, as all written documents have been destroyed by the lone agent Dr. Hector Chester. The old man managed to destroy the paper documents detailing the Seven Gates phenomenon, only charring video and audio discs, but nothing else. Sometimes one mystery leads to another, or more often than not, I should say. Dr. Hector is being held off-site for questioning. While the audio is damaged, it is still legible and therefore valuable. Please listen to this snippet from Field Researcher 208.
I've reached Gate 3. The time is 2043. The sky has turned from auburn red to, well, now it's purple. I see several figures standing off in the distance on bowing tree branches. I keep hearing footsteps coming from behind me, but every time I look behind, the sound stops. I don't think anything is following me. I think whatever it is, it's in my head. I see the fourth gate. It's red. It's burning into the ground. I hear fire now. The footsteps are stopping. And now I'm hearing fire. I don't see it. Fuck, I can't do it. I keep hearing her voice. Get the hell away from me. No, it's not you. I know it's not you. I know it's not you. I can't cross the gate. Third gate is lost somewhere in the distance. Somewhere in the trees. Oh, God. I took so many different ways to get here. I got lost. The fucking rope is going. It's fucking God. Oh, Lord.
While conducting research on the surrounding area without entering the gates, field researchers were able to find the tape laying 1.2 miles away from the first gate in a perfectly typical forest. Field researcher 208's body was not found. What's clear is the gates do transport the traveler to some alternate dimension very similar to our own, but grows progressively different with each passing gate. What exactly is not clear is why items like the tape seem to reappear in our world despite being brought to the other dimension. More tests are required, and your block index will be updated when more information is found. I think we all need an escape at some point. Taking a walk in nature is known to reduce stress and anxiety. Something about entering into the wild connects us with our baser instincts. It brings us home. But too much of anything, well, it can't be a good thing. No matter the time of day, you should watch your back if you decide to walk a splintered path. Finding a trail where you thought none would be is exciting, but maybe you should make sure the path you walk upon is at least known, if not well-trodden. Trust me, I've walked my fair share of routes leading to things I dare not speak because they are mine to remember and experience. But I am not dumb. An iron gate in the middle of the woods with no connection to the land it stands upon is a clear sign of something amiss. Hanging sticks tied to branches, falling snow where none should be, disembodied screams, an abandoned home with no windows. While these things may be enticing, take it from me, a man still looking for not everything is worth it. But if braving the wilds of Pennsylvania to find the 7 gates to hell is enough to get you going, by all means, take the plunge. Just remember to record your findings for the rest of us.